It'll be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today I'm going to rank all the legendary characters, and that means no galactic legends, no marquee characters, no territory battle unlocks, so like no Ki-Adi-Mundi or Wat, for instance. We are going to use some conquest characters. We're going to be ranking them arbitrarily based on my own criteria that I'll explain as we go along, and this is not a farming guide. It's not me saying you should get this thing first. It is just the things like a power ranking. These are the characters that I think are the most powerful in this order, and otherwise it's not just legendary. Obviously it's going to also contain the journey guide characters for the most part, and so I hope you agree with every single thing, but in case you don't, let me know in the comments. Disagree with me respectfully. I'm not the sole arbiter of truth. I am one of the arbiters of truth. No, I do like this ranking. However, I know that it's going to, and people are going to disagree like crazy. People are going to just vehemently and obnoxiously want to disagree, and I'm just going to explain to you guys why I think these guys are. I'll give you an argument, and maybe I'll change for, if I ever do another version of this video, maybe I'll change my ways. We have 27 characters to discuss. You can get this infographic on my Discord server. You can find the link to that in the video description. If you want to join, you find the channel called Infographics, and you can share it with your guild. Keep it for your own self. Put it on your phone and forget about it. Do whatever you want. You can even print it out and burn it as an effigy. It puts the F in effigy. However, I do think that this is a good discussion to have, especially for people who are maybe wondering what other characters. We talk about Galactic Legend farms a lot. We don't necessarily talk about all the characters that are kind of in the middle. I should mention, we're also doing raid characters, raid unlock characters. And I mean, it's all just a little bit arbitrary, but I mean, this is, I'm a GAC guy for the most part, but I'll try to represent some of the other game modes as we move along. However, if you want to support the channel for free, please, all you have to do is like, subscribe, or comment. Mount the algorithm for me, guys. Please, really, really appreciate all that you've done, all the support that you've given me over the time, trying to expand this channel continuously, and it's impossible to do without you. That being said, let's go to the infographic. Whoa, we're in the infographic. Yeah, so this is the infographic, not zoomed in. This is your brain. This is your brain. Oh, this is the infographic on. It's zoomed in. Okay, so my favorite guys. Number one is Jedi Revan, and I mean, it seems like kind of a random one because he's part of at least one Galactic Legend counter, as an off-meta counter. I'm also showing these teams, folks, as mostly teams that don't have a Galactic Legend associated with them. A few of them, it's like, well, they're not much good without a Galactic Legend, in my estimation. At least that. So I'm showing you the best team. This isn't the only team that he can be on. However, the team that I'm showing you is the one that counters Supreme Leader Kylo, and I mean, it does a pretty good job. The thing is, Jedi Revan is one of those plug-and-play characters that is just tremendous, because he can fit with like everything. If we had more characters like him, like theory crafting would be maybe a lot harder or easier, depending on, like, he's just so good at so many different things. There's no other character in the game that can link someone, or mark a character. He can ignore a taunt and choose any character that's not stealthed and mark them, and then anyone else on his team can attack that character. He can also, he heals everyone by redistributing health. He trades turn meter, so he can get past turn meter mechanic blocking things. He is able to he's able to buff his team with his unique and his leadership, so he doesn't necessarily even need to be in the lead. He also has the savior mechanic, which keeps people alive, and when they're it staves off certain death, certain doom for our heroes. He is, I don't know, he's just pretty good. He can't be ability blocked, he can't be stunned. He he's just the character that keeps giving, folks. I'm just consistently very impressed by Jedi Revan, especially for how old of a character he is at this point. He just does a lot of really cool stuff. And not to mention, I mean, yeah, like his savior mechanics, so that when someone's about to die, then he forces them to get a turn. You always get a turn with him. You don't just get totally blown off the board. Very, very cool. And I mean, he's the character that CG probably wishes they didn't make, because he probably makes them work around the Jedi mechanics quite a bit, because they don't want to overpower him or the character that they're making. They did that for Rey, by the way. That's the reason Rey doesn't have the Jedi tag in them, as stated by CG. Now, the next one is Starkiller. I like him in the second slot because of how versatile he is, and how consistently strong he's going to be. He's going to, because he's going to consistently, they're going to always be releasing new Sith, new Jedi, and then Lasufus and Disufus, the unaligned Force users. He's going to always have new and interesting characters to add to his squad, and you're going to be able to mix and match. He's super fun to be able to choose which characters are the best with him, and you know, he's also really good in territory wars, and I mean, he drops off a little bit in the non-PvP arena, but he still does a lot of really cool stuff, and there's just a lot going into this squad. I will say, don't ever try to undersize with him. It doesn't work. Now, Darth Malgus is, I chose him because he, well, I should also say, Starkiller kills a ton of Galactic Legends. Not all, but a ton of them. He does a very good job. Very convincing fellow at that. Now, Darth Malgus is one that also kills Galactic Legends. I also like how good he is on defense, in the sense that if you put the right team down and have the right modding on them, have them fast enough, have the right team comp, then you're going to take a Galactic Legend to counter him almost always. Maybe in 3v3, even in 3v3, it's very difficult sometimes to find a team that can beat him a lot of like he's just a very challenging fellow to beat, and he's not a Galactic Legend himself. And I mean, the Datacrons all help him and all that, but even without Datacrons, he's a Galactic Legend level defensive character. And I mean, it's so obnoxious. You get him down to red, and then his mechanics say that he just immediately goes back up to full health at the start of the next fight if someone times out on you or something. Okay, General Skywalker in the 501st. I like him just because not only is his team pretty strong, and it'll take down a few Galactic Legends, it also is able to ignore, as a lead, he's able to have his whole team ignore revives, which is crazy if you think about, like, you can take him as lead and then a bunch of just randoms. Like, you could take him with 4 Night Sisters. Not that there would be a lot of synergy with them, but those Night Sisters and that team would all ignore revives as long as he's the leader. That's a pretty unique thing, though I guess it's a pretty leadership thing if you really think about it. But he's also, if you don't want to take him with 501st, if you just want to unlock him, you can, all of the characters used to unlock him are very useful, but he's also a character that works really well with a lot of different Jedi comps, and he's a very versatile character. We usually see him in 501st these days, but he's just, he increases cooldown. He does all this cool stuff, guys. He's still very strong. He's maybe waning a little bit, but he's still really good. Okay, so Kat, she's the second Conquest character here. I can't believe that she's ranked here. And here's the thing, guys. I always say this. I say that Jedi Master Kenobi is her lifter unit, and it's almost a tragedy when someone unlocks Jedi Master Kenobi after they've already had Kat, because Kat roams so far and wide in terms of teams that she could use. If I could choose one character to double on my roster, it would be her, because she would always go, she's kind of just has to go with Kenobi. It's just too strong of a combo. You can't replace her. You can't replace her, folks. And she's just too strong there. But if he wasn't there, she could go with so many other Scoundrel, or, like Rey. She's a better lifter unit for Rey, than Ben is. It's crazy as that like she's so good with so many different teams. It's kind of sad that she's locked in with Kenobi, but that's why we're showing a Galactic Legend there. Jedi Knight Luke, I don't know if he deserves to be quite this high, folks. I mean, he's the unlocked character, obviously. A lot of these characters are unlocked. That's not really the consideration that I'm going for, but he's one of those characters. He hits so crazy hard. Like they nerfed his hitting a little bit, but in like subtle ways, they made him hit even harder. His ability to AoE stun people is crazy strong. His ability to, he's able to take down their max health and protection with his stun, and he's able to buff his teammates a lot. And I mean, he's not the leader for a Jedi Revan team like this, but he does really good. He's also the main damage dealer when he's on a Jedi Master Luke team trying to counter a lot of different Galactic Legends. Very, very strong character, very versatile, and I don't know if he should be number 6, frankly, but there it is, folks. He's there. We're not taking him off there because it would take a really long time to edit this stupid infographic. Now, Darth Traya with her Omicron is really strong. I would say that in the context of, you probably want Savage as well. Like, you probably need both of those with Omicrons, and I realize that not everyone can afford both Omicrons and a bunch of relics and all of that stuff, and I know that she gets countered by the dark side Galactic Legends now, but she's still able to really, really impact things. When a Galactic Legend isn't involved, there's not really a team that easily destroys her. People put this team on defense all the time, and I'm like, man, I have to use a Galactic Legend. It is so obnoxious, and usually she steals a lot of banners. Even so, she's also just she counters basically everything that isn't a Galactic Legend, and maybe Malgus as well. She kind of struggles. I used to say at least her new Omicron lets her kill Malgus, and I think in 3s that might be true. In 5s, she's a little less versatile in that front, unfortunately. Now, Darth Malak, he's just good because you can break him off and add him to a ton of different teams. Like, I've seen a lot on the top tier level, people are putting Rey with Malak still, because he's just, even without a chin, he is one of the strongest characters that are plug and play out there. The way he deals damage, the way he does tenacity down and shock, and he can dispel things, and then he takes 100% of max health, and he's a tank, and he causes fear when he's hit, and then he's crazy tanky as well. He's just one of those characters that he's very, very plug and play. He's not a leader either, so you're not tempted to make his own team, but you can put him almost anywhere and make that team better. Grand Inquisitor is a little bit disappointing to be at 9 in some ways. Some people are going to say he should be higher. Some people are going to say he should be way lower. Hold on. Alright, sorry folks. I paused so that I could cough a little bit for fun. Grand Inquisitor is looking like he's going to be able to counter quite a few Galactic Legends, especially once we get Reva. Now, I know that Reva is not out yet, and this ranking really isn't part of that. The thing is, he's part of a really important subset of characters in the sense that he also takes out a ton of territory battle stuff. He's really good and instrumental in Conquest. He's really good in territory wars, obviously because of his 3 Omicrons, and then with Reva coming, he'll be really good in the in GAC as well. Even without Reva, however, this team does a lot of good. I think the key is to not expect too much from them. They do some pretty good stuff though, folks. He's as mandatory as a character can get without actually being an unlock character, though he is kind of an unlock character for Reva. Finally, we have Dr. Aphra, and Dr. Aphra, this is kind of just the benefit of the doubt thing. She's a new enough character. We don't know enough about her, really, especially now that we have a Datacron that's really overpowered for her. We don't know how impactful she'll be. However, she is required for a few different territory battle node things. She's only 4 characters away from being unlocked, and the characters that you use to unlock her are very, very useful, as well as she's able to challenge at least a few Galactic Legends even without her Datacron. We just don't know for sure. I think she'll stay in the top 10, but I mean, I think she's a candidate for removal, to be honest. Whoa, real quick jump step there. Or, well, I don't know. That's probably not what it's called. All right, so the next 10 folks. Emperor Palpatine. I think the reason I like Palpatine the most, like he eventually just gets stuck on a Star Killer team. He's just like, oh, really? I forgot that he was legendary. Yeah, he's pretty good. The thing is, as an early player unlock, he's so easy and accessible as for early players. He's like the first galactic legend or the first legendary that you're going to unlock, and he does, like, his turn meter train is just so good. And, you know, and his shock on basic is going to be able to shut down all the healing against a lot of the really problematic characters, like maybe Kylo Ren Unmasked and stuff early on. As a new player character, he is very, very strong. I wouldn't say that he ends up being quite as strong long term. Okay, so Han Solo, he's a raid character for the Rancor raid, and the fact that he's able to shoot first against any team he shoots before, because he gets the bonus turn at the start, that's faster than turn meter, and that's faster than Watt's turn, because they wrote it into the code that Han shoots first, which I love that they do that, because they follow the lore, and their heart's in the right place in terms of that. He's also the pilot of a really important ship. Currently, the Millennium Falcon is the meta ship right now, and obviously you need Chewbacca to go with him, but the fact that he's able to shoot and you can stun whoever you want on the first turn is really strong. You can do some really weird niche off-meta counter nonsense with him, just on like other random teams. Like you could use him with troopers of all things to be able to stun like Canderous so that he can't get a turn. He can get a turn, and yeah, he's just a very versatile, strong character. He's one of my very favorites in the game, to be honest. Maul is another character that, I mean, he is the lifter unit for Lord Vader, but the thing I love about Maul is that, yes, you can put him with Lord Vader, and it's almost a boring option, right? But you can do it, and Lord Vader's team is probably better for it, I'll admit. However, Maul is also a character that can branch out and has a ton of off-meta counters to be able to take out almost every single Galactic Legend on his own. With his team, he just has to have the right modding. CLS, I don't know, like CLS, here's the thing, he's just not as plug and play as Han Solo is. Han Solo goes on any rebel team, any scoundrel team, any smuggler team, and is crazy good. Luke is like, I mean, like, he can go with some, like, droids sometimes and, you know, like, kind of pilot them around or order them around, like, whine about things while they're taking oil baths and, you know, just, like, play with his little plane. But, anyways, he's alright. He's fine. He really is. The problem with Luke is you really, for his best team, there's a lot of work going into trying to get him, get all of the characters assembled, because Luke is a legendary level character. It's like a hero's journey, whatever. Chewbacca is a legendary character. C-3PO is a legendary character. Han Solo is legendary in the sense that he's from the raid, and then Chewpio you can actually just farm, but it's a very difficult squad to assemble for how strong. Once you get it is very, very strong. However, I mean, otherwise, I don't know that he has that much value on his own, which is why he's ranked as low as he is, despite the power of the squad that he runs. Now, Beskar Mando, he's maybe a little higher than a lot of people would say. You could put him on so many teams, though. The team that I placed him on is the one that kills Lord Vader pretty consistently, depending on what the comp is, what the situation is. But he's also so plug and play on all the different scoundrel and smuggler teams. He just does so much work, and he goes with so many different teams. Just my admiration for him is super high because of how well he plugs and plays, which almost sounds a little bit dirty, but he's, you know, keeps people alive. He dispels debuffs. He's able to fill in wherever he's needed. I put him with Rey a lot of times, guys. I put him with Rey and IG Queel. Obnoxious as hell to deal with. Darth Revan here. I put him because on his own, he doesn't really do that much. It's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Like, you put fear on everyone. That's great. What else? He's like, I'll try to electrify people with my shock. And you're like, well, everyone's feared. Can you not? He's like, no, I'm doing it. And he just ruins things. He's a ruiner of things. He's best as a lackey for Malgus, unfortunately. And, you know, the thing is, he is garbage without the right support. If you put the right support on him, a lot of times you're taking all that support from Darth Malgus, who needs it more and benefits from it more. So yes, he's a good character. Yes, you should try to unlock him, but I don't think that he's just he's lost a step, folks. He's old. He's geriatric. I don't know why someone would have a last name of Atric, but he is. Now, Thrawn is just crazy plug and play, folks. He's, I mean, we're getting to the point where it's like, well, okay, everyone is just a role player on a team. Like, yeah, he helps the armor get an extra turn so that she can put some stacks of Beskar on Sith Eternal Emperor so that he can kill Jedi Master Kenobi. Who kills Kenobi? Sith Eternal Emperor. Who dies along the way? The blue guy, formerly known as Thrawn. Padme, I mean, this is her best team, kind of, but like she's just a role player on a Kenobi squad. She does really good early game, and she does great in Conquest. Wonderful Conquest character, honestly. Not just a team that you have to face, but as a team that is able to climb through Conquest. Very, very strong. Grandmaster Yoda, man, I'm so bitter that I put his second Zeta on. It's his leadership, and it's just like they released Bastila Shan as a marquee like the week after they gave him a Zeta, which makes me sad. I mean, I don't need Zetas anymore on my main accounts. They're not that much bitterness, but I mean, the thing is, yes, he's perfectly suited to going with a Jedi Knight Luke or a Jedi Master Luke squad because of all of his turn meter gain and stuff, but he's also lost a step. Like, yeah, he can do some cool stuff. He can spread those buffs. He can do all, but he's a role player. It's like, well, why is he on this Jedi Master Luke team? This is the Master Luke team that kills Jedi Master Kenobi. He's just so annoying that they always target him first, and he's basically the tank for this team. Even though Jedi Master Luke is a tank, he's the tank because Kenobi can just ignore taunts after a while. Anyways, they go after Yoda, sparing the more important characters. And Jolie is just like, dude, Yoda, you need to stop dying so fast, man. It is getting old. I'm getting old. I'm sick of this. Now, Jedi Training Rey, I think probably a lot of people are going to think I'm doing her dirty. Not to mention, we have BB-8 and R2-D2 later on this list. The thing is, with 3 legendary characters, this squad is not very good. It doesn't do much. And I know that we're going to get some cool Datacrons here coming up here for set 7, but that's not something we're going to be paying attention to. I mean, I like Jedi Training Rey really well on a Rey squad, but otherwise she's just like, oh, look at that, Ben is here. Like, Ben is probably better. I think overall she can run a squad of her own, which is why she's a higher rank than Ben, and she can do, you know, the healing immunity stuff. But she's just so a lot of times unless she's on defense somewhere, I find that I don't even use her for anything, and that's really unfortunate. I like her as a character, but honestly, I think that the best use of her now is probably going to end up being with, like, Finn lead with Zori. Weird as that sounds. Alright, folks, so let's do some quick hitters here. C-3PO, he takes a lot to unlock. He's only part of one squad that, like, his best squad is... He's just, He's good. He's good in this context. He's just a role player. He's not like a central unit. You're like, oh yeah, I can maybe replace him. General Kenobi, yes, he's one of the best tanks in the game, I suppose. As a legendary character, he's just another cog in the wheel, though. He's just like, oh, hey, look, we're doing the mirror match. Oh, look at that. Cat killed me again. Bummer. Bummer, I'm dead. What's that? I have a Relic 9 fleet? No one cares? Oh, man, that's real sad. We have Chewbacca, who, yeah, his guard is pretty cool, but, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of ways to get past the no crits thing that he provides. Yeah, he does percent health down. Like, he is good. He assists a lot. He does a lot of cool stuff. He has his tenacity down that he puts on people on his basic. He's pretty good. You know, all these characters are good, for sure. Like, you should be going for all of them, I think. But I don't think that he really, really moves the needle, especially just on his own. You know, he has to go with Han, and then, you know, that's fine. It's like, you know, he doesn't do that much damage when his best modding is tenacity. You just, like, put 6 tenacity mods on him. You're like, yeah, go forth and just do your thing. And he's like, whoa. And that's it. Ben is... He probably shouldn't be this low. I don't know, guys. Like, what does he do? Like, if he's with Ray, he makes the Ray team better, for sure. Undeniably, he hits really hard. He has the healing immunity stuff. Like, he does a lot of cool stuff. But when he's not with, if you don't have Ray, and Ray is the least common galactic legend to be unlocked, I'm guessing that Jabba has even passed her by now, though I don't know that for sure. I think that Ben, without Ray, is just like, what do you do with it? My alt uses him at Relic 5 with Starkiller, and it's not great. It's like, well, I didn't want to have to put relics on Visas, so sure, I guess I'll use Ben. I don't know. With Ray, great character. Without, not so much. BB-8. BB-8 should probably be higher because he facilitates so many other good droid teams and giving them all that turn meter, doing that taunt and everything. Like, pretty good character overall. Just, again, a facilitator that can be replaced by other things and other mechanics elsewhere. R2-D2, man, he's probably the saddest character out there right now. Like, he just kind of forlornly tags along with wherever BB-8 goes, and sometimes BB-8's like, hey bro, I need to do this alone, and R2-D2 has to go shut down and die of sadness. It's very sad. Finally, we have Scion of Django, which I just can't find. Like, people are like, no man, he is so useful, he kills a galactic legend. He kills one, and you can't do it with, like, you should put him, you know, he's way more important, Scion of, and I'm like, okay, so if you have a team, like, he has to go with Fennec to be able to kill galactic legends. If you take Scion of Django off the team, Fennec still has a good chance of killing Lord Vader, depending on how you've set it up. If you take Fennec off the team, Scion of Django has no chance. No chance. Who's the power character in that couple? Like, Fennec is the power behind it. She is the reason you kill galactic legends. Scion of Django is like, hey, put 3 Omis on me so that you don't have Omis to spend on more important characters. He is a very sad person. Maybe life as a Tusken will make him a little bit more suited to life on a roster. I'm very disappointed with him. Yes, he's helpful enough in Territory Wars to kill Lord Vader. He does boost that team. I'm not saying he doesn't make it better. I'm just saying that for a character that is incredibly difficult to farm, you have to go through all the same stuff that you have to go through to get Cat, like, and Melgus, like, how are the two even, like, in the same, how are they in the same sentence? You go through all of that stuff, then you have to put a bunch of gear on him, then you have to put Omicrons on him, which are crazy rare at this point, and then he plays second fiddle to Fennec. You don't need him. It's like, you can just, sometimes I forget to use him in Territory Wars and just kill Lord Vader anyways, because Fennec is just that good. I don't see much need for him, folks. Not yet. We'll see. That being said, let me know what your thoughts are on all the different legendary characters. Did I get the rankings right? I'm sure. Maybe I even missed a couple legendaries. I'm not sure. I hope not. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. What did I get wrong? Be respectful. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.